If you are tired of trying tons and tons of warm-ups and feeling that you don't improve no matter what you do, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why warm-ups are not only not helping, but also holding you back. Stay until the end because some of these steps are a little bit surprising and you don't want to miss any of them. Now, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why your vocal warm-ups are not only helping you, but also hindering you. We're gonna go one by one. The first reason is that most warm-ups, follow along, that you see on YouTube, bring your voice to the high pressure function. And I talked about this in other videos. You can check one of them there. This is extremely important for singers to understand the double valve function. I'm not gonna explain too much, but just know that this part of your body can be set into either high pressure function or low pressure function, and that for singing we need low pressure function. Now, most of the YouTube exercises that you see, most of the warm-ups that you see, set the voice to high pressure function. They use a lot of consonants, maybe they use vowels that are a little bit too harsh, and they never talk about breathing. One of the things that instantly sets your larynx system into high pressure mode is the way you breathe. And so, as I always say, it's not so much what exercises you do, but how you do them. Because those exercises, if you do them from the low pressure function, you're going to have a lot of benefits. But if you just never did exercises before and you just sit and you just repeat what you hear, you're not going to get a benefit from it. You are going to be reinforcing the bad habits that we want to change. So that is the first thing. A lot of those warm-ups that you see around, they are not designed to bring the voice to low pressure function. They are designed to train your voice to do fancy stuff, and that is great, but not if you are starting from a high pressure function. The second reason why those warm-ups are not helping you is because they are focused on imitation, and they are not focused on getting you in contact with your body, with your breath, and with your instrument. Look, singing is about changing habits. No one is born with the habit of singing. A lot of my students start lessons because YouTube hasn't worked, and a lot of the times what they tell me is, when I inquire a little bit more, is they do maybe warm-ups in the car, or maybe they do warm-ups while they are doing something else, or maybe they do warm-ups very softly so they are not heard. All of that, you have the best intention in the world, but it's going to bring your instrument to high pressure mode and you are just wasting your time. In the best case scenario, you are training your ear a bit, but that's it. It's better to do 5 minutes of practice with awareness rather than 1 hour of exercises just while you're doing some other things, not being present. Take warm-ups as a meditation. When you do your warm-ups, a lot of those warm-ups that you see around, they are too fast. They are focused on getting people interested, and so they change exercises constantly, and the repetitions are too quickly, and so you don't have time to get in contact with your instrument. You're just trying to catch up with what comes next. And again, that's very good for ear training, but it's not going to transform your instrument. It's not going to give you a vocal technique, and we need both. For singing, we need both. So what you have to do is you have to do warm-ups that are gentle enough, slow enough, and easy enough that you can get in contact with your instrument. This is, you can be aware of your body, you can be aware of your feet, you can sense your breathing, and you can start getting in contact with your vocal tract. You can start sensing how it feels to sing from the vocal cords to the lips. This is when you actually warm up your voice. This is when your voice asks you for what it needs. If this sounds interesting, but you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I suggest you check the description below, because in my new program, you have not only one-on-one personalized sessions, but you also have access to voice and movement workshops that are designed to put all your focus in sensing your instrument, and that way you get results very, very fast. If you're interested, check the description below and book a call with me, and then I can tell you a little bit more about it and see if you're interested. The third problem with warm-ups is that the warm-ups that you find here and there are too generic. This is also why you want to go to a vocal coach that has studied to be a vocal coach. And you can finally, always when you start singing lessons with someone, make sure they have studied to be vocal coaches, because you also have a lot of singers that learned how to sing and they teach people the exercises they learned, but every single voice is different and not every exercise is the same for everyone. For some people, some exercises might be really good, and the same exercises might destroy the voice of another person. So that is a big problem, doing exercises that are too generic. And I'm talking even things like lip trills. Like lip trills are good for some people, but not for other people. And they are supposed to be for everyone, but they are not. So that's the third one. Of course, it's going to be much easier if you have a teacher. And again, if you want to know what exercises are good for you, that is something I teach in my one-on-one lessons. So again, you can check the description below and maybe I can help you with that as well. The fourth reason why the warm-ups you do are holding your voice back is because you do them from alert mode, basically. This is crucial for singing. Always remember that your system has to be in safe mode to learn the skills of singing. You might be thinking, oh, but I feel safe, I'm not scared. Well, it goes a bit deeper than that. Remember that your subconscious mind pick up threats that you might not be too aware of. So, for example, if you practice your warm-ups in the car, you are in alert mode. Even if you think you are relaxed, you are subtly picking up a lot of hazards on the way. You are not in safe mode. And you can't. You need to drive. Like, that's the priority. So don't try to save time. You're going to waste time if you do that. So if you are thirsty, you are also in alert mode. If you are hungry, if you just had a fight with someone. So be wise to where and how and when you practice to make sure that you are in a state in which singing feels safe. And that is why sometimes a lot of people report that they feel that the voice can just flow when they just danced, or maybe when they were having a party with their friends. Being with friends and sharing with people brings your system to safety mode, so that can be one of the reasons why. Or maybe after a massage, maybe after you did some breath work. If you know how to bring your system to safe mode, do that. And if you don't, learn how to do that, because it's going to change your life. Finally, the fifth reason why your warm-ups are holding you back is because you are going high too soon. And this is where I disagree with a lot of teachers. And when I disagree with warm-up, the concept itself. So what is a warm-up? Well, the warm-up should be, as I see it, a space of time in which you get your voice ready for the singing function. But most people think of warm-ups as something you do mechanically, like if you were for a little run and you don't even have to think about it. And then the warm-up doesn't work because you're not in singing function still. So one of the problems that I see in a lot of people, and maybe in some YouTube videos, in some follow-alongs, is that they start a scale, let's say maybe arpeggio, ooh, and then right away they start going higher and higher. That doesn't work. You have to start going lower first, because when you start going lower, you start getting more in contact with your voice, and the vocalis muscle and the contact with it is associated to safety. But if you start singing and right away you start going higher into what we call the tension mode, tension dominant mode, it's not about tensing, but about the vocal cords being tensed, right away you are taking the system out of safety. It's good to go high, of course, but not right away. Just warm up your voice first in a safe manner, get it ready to sing, and then once your voice is ready, then you start going higher. And also, you don't have to move that much. Depending on the warm-ups that you do, sometimes you can stay in kind of the same area for quite a while. With my singers, usually we start the lessons with a glissando of an octave, and we move one semitone down, one semitone down, one up, one down, and we stay there for quite a while. This is super important to consider, because singing is not just about stretching your range. In fact, when you are singing in a range that you are comfortable with, that is when you can change habits. And those new habits are going to get you those higher notes a little bit later on in the practice, in the same session practice, right? So if you got high too soon, right away, you're just stressing the system. It's not going to do anything for you. Let me know in the comments what things you struggle with and what other topics you want to see. And if you like this video, press like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.